Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Jasmine Jonas, but you can call me Jazzy. In today's video, we're gonna do a reaction to, of course, my favorite senator, Senator Kennedy. Um, I have to say, this guy really got me interested in politics, and I have learned a lot by watching, most of his hearings, and it is definitely an eye-opener, and I feel like this is something that I want to share with other people to see if other people share those same views or if they see him the way that I see him. And if you haven't checked him out, like, this is a great opportunity. I will continue to break down his videos. I will continue to react to most of his videos, so we can definitely share these moments together and discuss whatever it is we need to discuss. So in this particular video, it's gonna be regarding some of those children books that they have in the libraries now, and he was questioning a couple people about the rights of parents to physically advocate for their kids and the things that they want them to learn and not learn at school. And to me, this is something personal. I am a mom, and I have a 3-year-old, and I am really concerned about what he's learning at school and how much involved that I am in his education. So this is definitely personal to me. So we're gonna watch the video and we're gonna react. So I haven't watched it yet because I wanted the reaction to be real and genuine. So we're gonna watch it together and discuss.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I confess I'm a little confused, and I appreciate the argument or discussion that we've been having, but for me, it's a little too conceptual, or I don't know, metaphysical or theological or whatever you want to call it. I want to try to understand what you're asking us to do. Let's take two books that have been much discussed. The first one is called All Boys Aren't Blue, and I will quote from it. I put some lube on and got him on his knees, and I began to slide into him from behind. I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself. This was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me. He got on top and slowly inserted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right off the bat, like, this is so graphic to me, and I'm an adult saying that. So I don't understand how this is beneficial for a kid to be reading this book. Like, why would you go to a library as a kid and this is the kind of book that is there for you to read? Like, it's hard enough being a kid that you have to deal with so many things, like so many changes happening to you that you don't even understand yet. So add to that those kind of books, that kind of description, graphic description of sexual things being done, that you have to kind of wrap your mind around. Like, as a parent, why would I want my kid reading this book? Why would I want my child be exposed to that kind of indecency? Like, how is that going to benefit him exactly? Like, how is that beneficial to any kid to be reading this? So is it wrong for parents to be against that? Like, for parents to have issues with those kind of things? Like, I don't understand it. It's like, to me, as a society, we're completely going backwards. Like, things that should be seen as, normal common sense and ordinary stuff, like natural stuff that people had to do, is literally seen as evil now. And the things that are really evil are seen as being okay.
how's that? Like, how's that okay? Like, how's that happening? Like, why is it so hard for some people to understand that as a parent, your job is to protect your kid? And I feel like most parents, that's what you want to do. You want to keep your child's innocence as much as you can, because it's rough being an adult. And the most you can protect your kid from entering into that world too early, and every sense of the word, like, you're gonna do that as a parent. That's part of your job. It's to protect your kid from any and everything. I mean, it's unfortunate that we're not able to do that. We understand that there's a process to this. Like, they're gonna grow and they're gonna discover things for themselves. They're gonna experience things from them, for themselves, that we probably cannot protect them from. And as parent, we have to learn to accept that, but it doesn't mean that we're not gonna try. So why not let kids be kids? Why forcing this thing on them so early? Why expose them to such sexual things so early? Why can't we let them be kids? What is there to learn from this? Like, okay, a kid picking up this book and read it, what is there? How is that going to be beneficial to him in any kind of way? I would really want for someone to explain that to me, but let's keep watching.
Himself into me. It was the worst pain I think I have ever felt in my life.
Imagine how painful it is for me to listen to this.
A mix of pleasure with the pain. Close quote. All boys aren't blue. The second is another much discussed book. I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's called Genderqueer.
No surprise there.
Read an excerpt from that. Quote, I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you. It will fit my favorite dildo perfectly. You're going to look so hot. I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside.
I'm sorry, like, I don't even know how to express how I'm feeling inside, especially as a parent to a 3-year-old boy. Like, this is not the kind of world that I want my son to grow up in, but unfortunately, this is where we are. And I have to say, as a parent, I worry every day about my son's well-being, like mentally, physically, and emotionally. Like, you want to protect your kid from everything, and I cannot imagine how perverse you have to be inspired to write a book like that and to put it in a children's library. Like, who is benefiting from that? Like, who is that beneficial to? I mean, even as an adult, I don't feel like this book is even appropriate for you to read, but then, hey, you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. But I mean, imagine how perverse you have to be to think that, oh, this is the kind of book that I want to write for kids to read. And for people advocating for this kind of book to be in libraries for children. Imagine the level of perversion that has to be in a person to feel like this is okay. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable, but this is where we are as a society. This is where we are. Let's keep watching.
Of me, end quote. Now, Mr. Secretary, what are you asking us to do?
What are you?
Are you suggesting that only librarians should decide whether the 2 books that I just referenced should be available to kids?
Wow.
Is that what you're saying?
Never imagined these 2 things would be in the same sentence. Tell me what you're saying.
Well, first of all, there's this...
Don't give me a speech. Tell me what you're asking me to do.
With all due respect, Senator, the words you spoke are disturbing, especially coming out of your mouth is very disturbing. But what I would also tell you that we're not advocating for kids to read porn, to Senator Booker's point.
What are you advocating for?
We are advocating for parents random parents not to have the ability under the guise of...
No, he did not just say that. Random parents? Did I hear that properly? Who are those random parents? Aren't parents allowed to defend their children and what they were being exposed to? Especially something so graphic and so disturbing? Why would any parent want their kids reading this book? So parents that are going, around, school board meetings and defending their kids, I guess they're seen as random parents. As a matter of fact, I think I've seen another video where a parent went to a I'm sorry, I'm so tired. School board meeting. I believe he was a pastor, if I'm not mistaken, and he was reading that same passage from this book. And I remember the school board members being so disturbed that they asked him to stop. They didn't want him to finish reading the book, but yet that book is in a children's library. But the school board members, they couldn't listen to it because it was so graphic. Isn't it unbelievable? That's all I can say.
Keeping kids safe, to try and challenge the world view of every single manner on these issues.
You're getting conceptual again.
I'm not getting conceptual.
Well, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because I want to know what you're recommending. It sounds to me like what some of you are saying, the librarians should decide who gets to see that book.
I'm saying when individual parents are allowed to make a decision of where that line is, and To Kill a Mockingbird, which involves a rape scene, should that book be pulled from our libraries? I think it becomes a slippery slope.
I think you ought to think about it a little bit more before you come here.
I've thought about
if you're going to propose something, you ought to be able, in 30 seconds, to be able to explain what you're asking us to do. Ms. Kelly, what do you understand? Well, let me skip you for a second. Mr.
Seems like he doesn't even know his name.
Tell me what you're proposing.
It's pronounced Nix.
Nix? Is that how would you like me to refer to you?
Senator, your definition of sexual is synonymous with LGBTQ identity.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you to tell me you read those two excerpts.
Of course.
Genderqueer.
Do you think that, are you asking that only librarians and not parents
they
have
always
any
go
say
to that,
and whether minors can read those books? Is that what you're saying?
Genderqueer has never been in my school library, so it's never been banned.
Well, suppose it was. Should it be up just to the librarian, or should parents have a say?
There should be facilitation of collaboration between students,
parents have
and
a say?
educators.
Yeah, it's a
Parents should
direct
be
question.
working with students and educators to be making decisions, because students
are... And who decides ultimately? The librarian, or do you take a vote, or who takes the vote?
I would like to know too.
Committees in the community in my school district.
The community?
There are committees.
Okay. Well, I'm asking you, how do we decide whether the two books that I just referenced should be available in the library? What would you, if you were running things, what would you do?
All Boys Aren't Blue, the scene you mentioned, is about sexual abuse.
I know what it's about.
It's not
What
erotic.
would you do in terms of making the books available? Would you say anybody can see them, or they have to be in a special session?
Students who do not read books like All Boys Aren't Blue cannot learn what is appropriate.
I understand that.
They cannot learn.
I understand, but none of you want to answer my question.
I'm sorry, did he just say that if a student that doesn't get to read this kind of book, they don't know what abuse is? So, how were people finding out what abuse were before? So, reading such a graphic book is a helpful tool, if I'm understanding it properly from what he just said, to learn children to learn what abuse is. Like, shouldn't that be left to parents to discuss certain things with their kids? Like, why does it have to be so graphic? I'm sorry, I just can't not wrap my head around it. It's just too much for me to comprehend. Oh, it's making my blood boil that this is where we are, you know. This is where we are as a society. Like, this is the kind of things we have to discuss. Like, should that be or not be in a library for children to have access to? This is where we are. This is considered an educational tool for children to have access to. That type of book being so graphic, to me, it's so disturbing. But this is where we are. Let's keep watching.
Here, and you say censorship is bad, and of course it's bad. But the obvious response is, okay, you.
You know what I like when certain people say censorship is bad? It's only bad when it's not convenient to them. But when they want to cancel other people for their opinions, censorship is not bad. It's only bad when things that they want to be out there are not being, you know, are being pushed against. But, you know, other than that, it's fine. If it's not pertaining to them and what they want to discuss and what they want to shove down our throat and our children's throat, it's perfectly fine. You know, otherwise censorship is great. How they want everybody to be canceled for having like different other opinions than what they have. Then censorship is great.
The books we're talking about. Okay, we're not talking about Catcher in the Rye. So tell me what you want, who gets to decide. And all I've heard is the librarians. And parents have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And if that's your response, what planet did you just parachute in from?
Parents, Senator.
Or what country, more appropriately? This is not China.
Parents, Senator, for all due respect, parents absolutely have a say. My parents were immigrants, came to this country. We never checked out books without our parents seeing what books we were reading. They encouraged us to read books.
Mr. Secretary, I understand this is good for your politics back home.
It's got nothing to do with
my bill. Of course it does. It has everything to do with your politics.
I'm here to.
But you came here with a problem, and I'm trying to understand the solution, and you don't have one.
We solved the solution.
Other than to tell us that we don't agree with you, you're on the wrong. We'll be on the wrong side of history.
That's how it always goes.
In Illinois, we fixed it because we.
Well, there are others you could work on.
Well, that's why
I'm out of time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
To help other states make these decisions.
Oh my goodness. I can watch this guy for the entire day. Like, I don't know why I actually stopped making those videos. I'm really going to get back to it, and I'm going to try to at least do one video a week. It's kind of hard for me during the week to do that because, you know, after I get home from work, I gotta spend time with my son and everything. But I'm going to try my best because whenever I got to watch these hearings, I learned so much. And I think it's, you know, we're about that time where everybody should be involved. You know, everybody should be involved. It's not the time where we feel like, oh, you know, my opinion doesn't matter, my vote doesn't matter, or whatever it may be. Like, we should all be aware, you know, what kind of policies are being put into place, because it's affecting us. Like, whether you like it or not, politics is a part of our life. Like, these people are making decisions for us. They are making policies that are affecting our daily lives. Like, so we have to be involved. So let me know if you've ever heard about those books. If you've, you know, if you're a parent, like, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like your kid should be exposed to that kind of material in school? Or do you feel like these people, that librarians should be the one deciding what books that our children have access to? Or should parents be involved in those type of decisions? Like, if you're like me, it's definitely a yes. Because me as a parent, I don't want my son to be reading certain things or being a part of certain things without my consentment, without me knowing about it. I'm sorry if you hear my son coughing in the background. He's not feeling well, so I have him in my bed. So let me know, what do you guys think? I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. You know, give your girl a boost. I'm trying to get this YouTube channel going, and I'm gonna try my best to dedicate some time to it and be consistent, because I think that's one of my biggest problems. It's being consistent about anything, but I'm gonna try my best. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you learn anything and if you have a different opinion. That's it, and thank you guys so much for watching again. I will see you on the next one. Bye.